surprise stimulus checks for 2,000 hours, we have to face reality with our economy. Now, last month, our country's GDP or gross domestic product went down by 1.4% due to supply chain issues. As these issues have yet to be resolved, are we in for a recession? In today's video, we're going to discuss many factors that are pushing our country towards its worst economic year yet. We also have news on a $2,000 stimulus check with applications still open. So what's a recession? Now, you ask Google, it says that it's a period of temporary economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced, generally identified by a fall in GDP in 2 successive quarters. Okay, well, if you remember in our introduction, we discussed that our GDP dropped last quarter, and economists are finding it hard to believe that the Federal Reserve can rein in inflation without bringing about a recession. Earlier this week, the Fed raised its benchmark interest rate by half percentage point, making this the sharpest rate hikes since 2020, essentially signaling that the next hikes could be similar to it. Experts fear that more aggressive monetary tightening could ultimately cause a ripple effect in different markets, especially with those in debt vulnerabilities. Or in a simpler terms, millions of Americans across the country. But let's just face it, you guys, any economic stress that comes out of this is going to hurt us the most. Well, the ones who are paying monthly mortgages, credit card bills, car payments, whatever, you have student loan payments, hopefully yours are paused and ultimately cancelled. Now, the fact of the matter is, we're going down a very slippery slope, and we will be kidding ourselves if we didn't think otherwise. If you get an adjustable rate mortgage right now, chances are you won't be able to afford your mortgage payments. Once a new rate kicks in, you guys have to remember a war is still going on. Supply chains aren't anywhere near normal levels. And have you seen the price of gas now? As far as I can see, all the prices are going up. When was the last time that you filled your car up to the brim? Experts are also seeing some dark times for us in the near future. More than half the investment and economic professionals think the Fed actions to tame inflation by raising interest rates and turning off the balance sheet will cause a recession. The term most apt is that these people from Wall Street expect the Fed to fail on their mission to achieve a soft landing for the economy. I'm pretty sure that they don't want the Fed to fail, but that's how they're seeing to make matters worse. The prices of goods are expected to go even higher. We actually have a list of items that are expected to go up, namely fruits and vegetables, dairy, eggs, beef, veal, and any kind of red meat chicken, not to mention fish. And if we took a poll and I asked everybody here, is there anything up here that I just listed that you don't buy at all? I would be really surprised if anybody said none of them. Besides the spikes in spices, some of these items also be harder to find soon. Take chicken and eggs, for example. Now, according to the United States Department of Agriculture, quote, an ongoing outbreak of highly pathogenic avian influenza could contribute to poultry and egg price increases through decreased supply, or prices could be reduced by a drop in international demand for poultry, end quote. Now, with fruits and vegetables, there's a fertilizer shortage, one that will most probably last a bit longer than anticipated. Take a wild guess as far as the average price increase for these items. Now, I'm gonna give you guys a second thing about you got it. Alright, the answer is 4.5%. Now, that's the average. Some of these items are projected to go up by 7%. Think about your groceries and how much of the items you put in the basket. Now, add 4.5% to each one of them. Yeah, that's not good news. All signs are pointing to economic conditions getting worse. And at this point, there's not much we can do to protect ourselves. Now, while the worst is still ahead of us, we may be able to weather the storm if we prepare. The question now is how long of the storm are we in for, and if we get swept, will help be on the way, or will we just be on our own and potentially drown? Now for your daily dose of positive news, I'm bringing you guys another stimulus check that still accepting applications. States all over the country are still looking for different ways to provide assistance for their residents. And while not all of them are offering this form of financial aid in the form of stimulus checks, the effect is still the same. They're meant to lighten your load and give us a little bit of breathing room. Now in the state of Maryland, they've launched a program that will give low-income households $2,000 to help with their water bills. Now that aid will be given through the state's Department of Human Resources Low-Income Housing Water Assistance Program, and it does focus on households in the state whose drinking water and water bills are 30 days or more past due. Now, I'm not saying guys to get behind on your water bills just so you can get a free $2,000 stimulus check, but that's the group of people who are looking to get this free money here. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell us how important water is in our lives. Kind of think of it, having a rocket scientist trying to find water in space. Anyway, the federally funded program is being handled by the Department's Office of Home Energy Programs, and there are a few situations where the funds will come in handy. If the household's water or wastewater services have been disconnected because of past due water bills, the funds may be used to pay off your balance and hopefully get you reconnected. Now, if the household has no notice of pending disconnection due to a past overdue balance, the grant is also applicable to pay for all or part of your water bill, depending upon the amount to avoid disconnection, and at the very least, the funds can also help your households afford the current water bills so that they may take on other expenses. Now, if you think that you will be eligible for this grant, you may also apply by this website. Applications will most probably end once the federal funds are depleted. So if you're in the area and have a genuine need for this, make sure you check out the website as soon as you can before they run out of money. Now read your comments. We know that a lot of you guys are very interested in Social Security benefits. So today we found that those who are under it may get a 7.6% raise in the cost of living adjustments, or COLA is now at the start of the year. The 5.9% increase in COLA was in the world underwhelming, with inflation at record highs at 7.9%. A 5.9% increase barely even scratched the surface. Now, according to Senior Citizens League, the 2023 COLA could be at 7.6% due to a recent inflation data. And although this really is not good news, because it kind of implies that the cost of living for 2023 will slap us harder than will slap Chris Rock. Now, having a higher COLA really doesn't mean that seniors will have a great financial year. And in all honesty, it may be just a repeat of 2022. But President Joe Biden has proposed something worth nothing about a 14% increase in funding for Social Security benefits, or $14.8 billion in comparison to the funding level allocated last 2021. Now, with this help, this may actually improve the program services. It may do a little bit to avoid benefit cuts as well. I just want to thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for always watching the videos, for all the support.